US airlines don't exactly have the greatest reputation. They are known for nickeling and diming passengers, having terrible customer service, and on occasion, dragging folks off of planes. Literally. But Southwest Airlines is an exception. Not only does it have a cult following of loyal customers, but it also sports one of the highest employee satisfaction ratings amongst all US employers. The airline is so confident in its ability to appease that the company decided to make their ticker symbol on the New York Stock Exchange love. However, its wide appeal isn't the airline's most impressive facet. That's because the airline also happens to be the record holder for one of the most insane streaks in commercial aviation history. In an industry that's notoriously hard to make money, Southwest has remained profitable for 47 consecutive years. How have they managed to do it? Let me explain. For those of my viewers who aren't familiar with Southwest, let me give you a little background. The airline is arguably the most prominent budget airline in the US, carrying north of 150 million passengers a year to over 100 destinations, both domestic and international. But Southwest doesn't operate like a traditional budget airline. As a matter of fact, it offers many free perks that most legacy carriers charge for. For instance, the airline offers free in-flight entertainment, they offer 2 free checked bags per passenger, and they allow for free cancellation or alteration of your itinerary. While Southwest's fares aren't quite as low as what you might find on Ryanair or EasyJet, they are comparatively lower than other US carriers. And yet, they still offer all of these perks for free. So, in order to have turned a profit for 47 consecutive years, Southwest must be leveraging some other innovative tactics to stay in the green. While there are many, 3 of these tactics are highly visible and well known. First, Southwest pioneered the famous 30-minute turnaround time. Most legacy US carriers give their ground teams about an hour between flights to offload and load passengers and bags. But the longer a plane sits idle, the fewer paying passengers it's carrying. By cutting the typical turnaround time in half, Southwest is able to squeeze in an extra flight or 2 per aircraft per day. Across their fleet of 700 planes, that results in a whole lot of extra revenue. Second, Southwest leverages fleet commonality. Fleet commonality is the practice of standardizing your fleet by operating just one type of aircraft. Over the course of its 50-year history, Southwest has only operated planes in the Boeing 737 family. By simplifying their fleet, Southwest is able to streamline maintenance, training, and route planning. It also helps to facilitate a strong partnership with Boeing, who's become very receptive to Southwest's input when designing new airplane variants. Further, the airline often receives sweetheart deals when buying new planes from the jet maker. Third, Southwest is very strategic when it comes to airport selection. While the airline does serve a lot of large metropolitan areas, they've also opted to build a larger presence at lesser served airports. This is because highly trafficked hubs tend to charge a lot of money for landing and slot fees, while also providing less flexibility when it comes to future expansion. As a result, Southwest has favored airports like Chicago's Midway over O'Hare, and the Bay Area's San Jose and Oakland airports over San Francisco. Now, these 3 money-saving techniques work exceedingly well when the economy is booming, but aren't enough to sustain profitability during times of contraction. And having been around for 50 years, Southwest has seen its fair share of economic uncertainty. One of the most dire periods for the industry, where nearly every airline was losing money, came during the 2000s energy crisis. Between 2003 and 2008, the price of a barrel of oil jumped 500% to over $140. Considering that fuel costs comprise 25% of an airline's annual expenditures, this spike should have immediately wiped out Southwest's profitability streak. But it didn't. thanks to a little-known practice that Southwest has used liberally throughout the years: fuel hedging. Now, hedging is a bit complicated to explain, but you can kind of think of it like insurance for oil. If an airline like Southwest is worried that the price of oil is going to go up, they can sign a contract to purchase fuel at a fixed price for months or years into the future. Let me give you an example. Say the price of a barrel of oil is $25. An airline might then sign a contract that pays a supplier $50 per barrel over the next 5 years, regardless of what happens to the larger oil market. While the airline is paying an above-market premium in the short run, it removes uncertainty surrounding one of their biggest expenditures. And in the event oil prices do skyrocket, they will be able to save a whole lot of money. Now, Southwest has always tended to hedge a greater proportion of its fuel needs relative to other US carriers. And prior to the 2000s energy crisis, Southwest was one of the only airlines who was hedging their fuel needs for an extended duration. Once oil prices spiked, Southwest was in a position of strength, paying just a fraction of what its competition was on oil. It's estimated Southwest saved $4 billion thanks to this approach, and as a result, its profitability streak lived on. Unfortunately, none of Southwest's money-saving techniques will be able to weather the COVID-19 storm. The drop in aviation demand is just too severe. As a result, it's almost certain that we'll see Southwest's profitability streak end at 47 years. Despite this, the airline is still beloved and is primed to bounce back once air travel returns to some semblance of normalcy. So, while Southwest's remarkable and unprecedented profitability streak is about to come to an end, they very well might be ready to start another one. Personally, Southwest has long been one of my favorite airlines, and it's one that I can wholeheartedly recommend to anyone. Let me know what your favorite airline is down in the comment section below. And if anyone from Southwest is watching this video and wants to work together, that'd be sick. Give me a call. Thanks so much to my patrons for helping to make this video possible. And as always, if you learned something new today, leave a like and subscribe to keep learning. And until I see you again, don't forget to look up.